So, big news from Facebook this week. They announced Facebook Home for Android, which is sort of like an appy, skinny thing.
Yes.
They also announced a new phone, this piece of hardware, it's going to be running it out of the box, but we could talk about that later. First, why don't you take us through Facebook Home for Android and what it is and what it does and why you want it?
Yes. So Facebook Home, like you said, it's kind of like an OS skin a bit. It's not quite an operating system. It's not quite an app. But the biggest thing is that it takes control of your lock screen and your home screen. So the first thing you get when you pick up your device is Facebook. Your Facebook notifications are just right there.
So like when I hit the power button, it pops up, and instead of seeing like the clock and the weather and all that, it just has like what? My mom's photo of her breakfast or something.
Yeah, your mom's photo of your breakfast, that person from high school that went on some rant, all of that right there. It's fantastic. If you like Facebook, it's fantastic, which is, kind of the main thing. If, it's Facebook all right there on your device.
So it's basically like the news feed that you can just sort of so my impression of it when I saw it was that it is sort of like a Flipboard style experience for your newsfeed.
Yeah.
So it basically pulls in like updates and photos. No video posts yet, right?
Correct.
And are they going to do? What about Instagram? Are they going to do any of that integration?
Instagram, the hardware, the HTC First, I believe it comes with Instagram pre-installed, so easy, integration between the two.
Okay, but the photos don't show up in the stream yet. It's just Facebook stuff.
Yeah, Facebook posts, Facebook photos, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and it also makes chat much easier. So it's got this thing called chat heads, which is kind of a ridiculous name.
It's a total trip.
Yeah. I mean, it's Facebook, and then a chat head is like the circular icon, the circular avatar that's taken from your profile picture, which is a photo of your face, but it's called a chat head. Anyways, and so it's just, you can start chatting with people over Facebook message or through text messages, and you can chat with them without actually leaving whatever app you're in at the time. So it just kind of goes over your app experience.
I think it's pretty smart because it consolidates all the different conversations that you're having, all the different activities that one person is participating in on your phone under one person's profile instead of under a bunch of different apps. Like right now, your notifications will say you got a text message from this person uploaded a photo, and this person posted a status update, and you'll get those as separate notifications. Now it'll just show Christina, and then it'll show all of Christina's activity next to your chat head.
Yeah. So Zuck was all talking about how they're kind of taking the app out of the experience. It's all about people now, which goes along with that.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
Yes.
There's also something interesting that it consolidates messaging from text messages and Facebook messages under one sort of roof in the chat experience, which is much like we see with iOS and iMessage, so green and blue on the iPhone. So it's cool. It's a good trend, I think.
Yeah.
It's easier to manage conversations when you don't really care where they're coming from, but who you're actually talking to. Speaking of iOS, as our Apple reporter, do you foresee this Facebook Home arriving on an Apple device anytime soon?
Zuck said that they have a good relationship with Apple. I don't see.
So do I.
I don't really see this happening. At least Facebook is already integrated into the OS.
Yeah.
You log in with your credentials. You can share stuff to Facebook very easily. I don't see Apple wanting Facebook to take control of its operating system experience like this.
Because that's I think the most important thing about Home is that it basically turns your phone into a Facebook experience at the top level. So everything you do right when you turn your phone on and you start interacting with it is a Facebook experience. It's not an Android experience, which is kind of interesting. I mean, this sort of, I think, opens a door to other big brands being able to make a an Android skin that is all about them.
Yes. Yeah. can't wait for my eBay phone.
Right,
my,
your eBay
my
phone?
Amazon phone. Oh, you know, I guess there have been rumors about that anyways.
I want an Etsy phone. Well,
Yes.
it is pretty similar to what the Kindle Fire does
Definitely.
to Android. So it's not entirely unique, but it's also very very new and interesting.
Yes, and it's not just, so I guess now we can switch and talk hardware.
Yeah, so you'll be able to. One more thing about Facebook Home is that you'll be
Yes.
able to put it on your phone if you have a Galaxy S3, Galaxy S4, an HTC One,
HTC One X.
HTC One X, or is it One X Plus?
Yeah.
Or the new HTC First on April 12th, and you could download it from the Play Store. So since it's not actually a version of Android, Facebook is going to be able to update this as many times as they want, like an app. So that's awesome news because
Yes.
that is one of the big pain points in Android is update times. And they have committed to updating it once a month.
Yes, I believe every third Friday is what they said.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. So what about the First?
Yes. So the first is basically, it's not an early adopter phone. It doesn't have really amazing specs. It's just kind of, at least to me, kind of a generic Android phone. It's kind of mediocre.
I back you up on that.
But it's, yeah. But, it's, just an easy portal to your Facebook experience. If it's your first smartphone, it's just, something very palatable. It'll work fine.
I have a feeling it's going to sell kind of like hotcakes.
Really?
Well, it's $100 on AT&T,
Yes.
right? Which is awesome because people are always like looking to save $50 or $100 on a phone. Even though I think that's personally, I would never do that. But there's a lot of people out there who really want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Also, it's very, very familiar. So people who are maybe afraid about going with Android or they really like the iPhone, this is just Facebook. And they know Facebook, and they feel okay about hanging out on Facebook right from the moment they turn on their phone, because that's what they do anyway. So I think for those people, I mean, it's like kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, yeah. Just live in your Facebook experience, and now it's in your hand all the time instead of just, on the computer.
So that's also going to be available in April. Later, I think, is the 12th also?
I believe
did they
so.
say?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can test it out if you have one of the supported devices on the 12th in the Google Play Store. And we're also going to have a lot more coverage. We're going to have more videos from the event. That the announcement happened this week at Facebook headquarters, and we have reporters there, which is why we're talking about it, not them, because they're still down there. And we're going to be having the devices in. We're going to review it, so you can read about that on Wired. Also, be sure not to miss Stephen Levy's exclusive interview with Mark Zuckerberg that is up on Wired right now. You can click on that and read it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
About
the home?
About the home. It's I have privacy issues with this phone. It's going to know everything about you. It's going to know who you're talking with all the time, who you're messaging, where you are, when you are awake, when you're sleeping. I'm personally kind of wary about Facebook knowing all of that details about my life.
Are you wary about Google or Apple knowing all those details about your life, or Microsoft? Because I would argue that your phone
probably
already does
should
know
be.
all those things.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should be, but I don't know. For some reason, I just don't. Maybe I feel that I trust Apple a little bit more, for whether or not that's legitimate in any way, shape, or form. But I just,
Well,
don't
who
quite
am I to
trust
say
Facebook.
whether it is legitimate or not? I think that's up to you to decide.
Yeah.
It's up to you to decide how much you want to trust these companies. But it is very, very valid. It's very valid.
Yeah.
Location data, what brand of toothpaste you're using to brush your teeth. Android
Everything.
phones, you could, just about any smartphone, if you want to, you can turn on the camera and turn on the microphone remotely and start listening in and watching in people's lives.
Yeah, creepy.
I mean, you can go as deep as you want down that rabbit hole. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be double tapping on all your pictures and liking all of them.
Excellent.
So,
I
like us
approve.
on Facebook. We'll see you next week.